dropshipping, there are a few things that you want to ensure that you do. Um, and one of those is ensuring that your eBay account is upgraded from a personal account to a business account. If you already have an existing eBay account, I recommend using that account because it's more likely to have a rating. So all eBay accounts have a rating starting at 0, and before I started dropshipping, I had a rating of about 60 something on my eBay account, and that's just from buying. Each time you make a purchase, the seller leaves feedback, and that contributes to your rating. So if you do have an eBay account that already exists, upgrade that, use that because it has history. You might have even sold a few items on it before. So yeah, that's really important. And I'd recommend changing your username. And don't spend too much time in selecting something that's, sounds like where everyone would want to shop, but ensure that you use a name that sounds good, sounds like a place that others would want to shop at. I see a lot of successful sellers that just using their first names, so the name is not extremely important, but I definitely recommend using a name that sounds good. Um, so of course you upgrade your personal account to a business account. You can do that in settings. There'll be a lot of videos out there, but it's very simple. Same for PayPal. PayPal, you want to ensure that you upgrade to a business account. Um, for me, I just upgraded the personal account. I never really used PayPal, so I upgraded my personal account to a business account, or you can make a new one. It's completely up to you. And of course, for dropshipping, as with any business you start, any variation, create a new email address. Absolutely essential. You want an email address that everything on there is exclusively related to whatever it is that you're pursuing. So I definitely recommend creating a new email address. I've actually changed my email address on eBay before once I changed my name, but now I've got the same email, won't be changing. And I definitely recommend Gmail as opposed to Outlook, just because when you get on to start managing VAs, a lot of VAs from the Philippines and India as well, a lot of them use Gmail as opposed to Outlook. So it just makes it a lot more easy to sort of like share files and docs. It's just a lot easier. I definitely recommend using Gmail as opposed to Outlook. Um, and of course, a credit card. Um, I would definitely recommend having a credit card. If you don't have one, work work your way up to being able to attain a credit card. But of course, there's PayPal Gel. So if especially if you've never sold before, PayPal's not going to give you your money instantly because the whole idea and the way it works is that some people. So let's say I sell a table for £50. That £50 goes straight into my PayPal. I then use that £50 to buy the table from Asda for £30 and sell it directly to the customer. But when you're first starting off, you'll be in PayPal jail for up to 90 days, can be less. Um, can be less. Sometimes you might not even be in it at all. So PayPal will hold the funds for 21 days. So you'll be required to use your own money to sort of fulfill that order. And I was in PayPal jail when I first started, but I have a few credit cards. So till this day, I still use my credit cards because I get points from that, and there's all sorts of benefits, cashback, whatever it might be. So I definitely recommend a credit card if you have one. If you don't, obviously you need a pot of cash to help you fulfill orders. And with PayPal Gel, what you can do is once tracking has been uploaded and it has been delivered, you can actually call eBay and they will release the funds quicker. So this will definitely be useful, especially with the larger purchases where there's a lot of money tied up. So yeah, I definitely recommend um, using a credit card, have a pot of cash, and if you're using a debit card or credit card, just try and make sure that it's exclusively for the use of this. Again, just to avoid any complications when you're trying to do accounts and things like that. So the next thing I'd recommend is to create a logo. So some sellers don't actually have logos and things like that, but I definitely recommend just creating a logo. Um, Something like this is easily done on Canva. You can create a free account on Canva. You can put in your name, download the logo, upload it onto your store, and the same with the banner. You can do it on Canva. You don't need any skills whatsoever. So this is just an example. So it's Indigo Direct Limited. He's just got Indigo Direct. He hasn't really got a banner. Um, So I'm just going to show you these guys' shops as well. So I'm just going to select visit shop, and just whilst that's loading, I would recommend subscribing to the basic eBay store if eBay dropshipping is something that you want to do, and it's worth investing £25. You could spend that on a night out. How about you invest it into yourself and start running a business just for 1 month, £25. I definitely recommend it, because that way you, for the first 250 listings, you don't have any insertion fees. If you start listing without this initial investment, then they'll charge you 36p. Yeah, 36p per listing, whether it sells or not. So I definitely recommend this before it starts. It just makes it easier, makes things slicker when you're just getting started, and yeah, it's just a lot more professional. So upgrade to this store after 660 listings, I believe, and I wouldn't even recommend the Anchor store, to be honest. Look at that monthly price. It's not even something I'm going to talk about here. So yeah, so let's have a look at these guys' stores. So another thing that you can do, so this person doesn't really have it. I'd show you my store, but I can't do that, unfortunately. But you can create categories. So let's just say you could have literally just like a retailer, home and furniture, pet supplies, garden and outdoor. Does it make a difference? It's nothing that we can measure, but it does make your store look slicker. Again, with the logo, some dropshippers are successful without one, but if anybody does in fact select our, we want it to look presentable, we want it to look professional. And this guy's got a great name here, Indigo Direct Limited. It sounds professional, it sounds trustworthy, it sounds like I'd want to buy from it. Super Bargain UK is another good name. You don't want to put anything that would potentially deter people from buying. And of course, for Hustle Got Real, 30 listings is free. So the first 30 listings will be free. And 300 listings is $19.99. USD, that's $27. In euros, that's 24 euros. So yeah, I'm actually currently on the 500 listings because I try not to keep too many listings on my store. I once had 800 listings. And anything above from here, over 1,000 listings, that's a different strategy, and that's not the strategy I'm going to be teaching. So yeah, so that's so I definitely recommend those things. And getting started is just the hardest part, to be honest. Once you're listing and you're in a flow, it's really simple. It's really easy in a way. You just list, you get sales, you fulfill them. After a while, the customer inquiries you get will be the same. You'll see a pattern. Because at the moment I do the customer service myself, because it only takes an hour out of my day, and I just set an hour, do it, and it's all done. So, but because I've been doing it for a while, it's the same. You notice that it's the same problems. Like, there's nothing that can surprise me coming from customer service. So yeah, that's just a quick video of the sort of things that I'd recommend before getting started. Yeah. Main eBay fees, and of course store subscriptions. So yeah, so if you do not subscribe to a store, then you'll be charged something called an insertion fee, and that's essentially a listing fee, and that's 30p before tax. So that's 30p per listing that you're charged. So whether or not a product sells or not, you're going to be charged 30p per listing. So if you list 10 items, that's £3. So it quite quickly adds up. So I don't think I'm going to break down the maths in this video, but you can do the maths. So, but if you're looking to take eBay seriously and looking to commit to it, then I recommend getting a basic shop straight away, which is £25 per month, and you get 250 free listings with the basic shop. 250 free listings, so you won't be charged for 250 listings. And then after that, so
on a 251st listing, you'll be charged 10p as opposed to the 30p. So as you can see, without a store, you get charged 30p per listing. And as you can see, I think it's more than 66 listings. It becomes cost efficient to upgrade to a store. That's the maths, or something like that. But I recommend everyone, when I started eBay, I just invested £25 in a month. And if you commit to it, you'll make that back in the month as well. So it's definitely worth it to just start out straight away, just paying the £25. And once you've decided you want to commit to it, and then this is the featured store. So this becomes sort of favorable when you have more than 660 listings. And of course, that gives you free listings for up to 1,500, and thereafter it's 5 pence. So I've never actually used this store. I've always been on a basic store. I mean, the most listings I've ever had on my store was 800, but I didn't upgrade because I knew I was pruning. But now, as of date, I have under 400 listings, and I'm doing 15k a month. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So I recommend getting the basic store. These two. With this is if you're doing some bulk listing strategy and you have an extreme number of listings. So I'm not even going to discuss this one. So yeah, insertion fees are listing fees, and you get charged on that if you haven't got a store and you haven't surpassed these amounts. And there's final value fees as well. So final value fees on average is about 10%, but it ranges anywhere between 8 and 12%. And there's no set formula for calculating this. And this is just essentially eBay's cut from all your sales. So if you sell something for £100, eBay is going to take their, on average, 10% final value fee of £10 and take that from you. And you have to pay that to them at the end of the month. So that's the final value fee. There's no escaping that. That's what allows us to operate. So yeah, definitely subscribe to a basic store.